Now 5 wide. Presented by Quick Trip's quality gasoline guarantee. It's just another way Quick Trip has you covered.
9 to noon, ready to go, everybody. Good morning. How you doing? Billy, Coon, Armin in the studio. Are we ready for another football weekend?
As ready as we're ever going to be. Come on now.
Let's go, baby. It's week 9 already of the NFL. It does go quickly.
I thought you were going to ask him if they're ready for the in-season tournament.
Cup game tonight.
I mean, this is
where
this is where
cup game. Let's go.
this is huge.
This is
Could
huge.
you imagine another championship for Giannis when this is all done?
Well, and listen,
do you hang a banner?
Better fix that defensive
did
rating.
you just ask, do you hang a banner?
Yeah.
You do.
Of course you hang a banner. Listen,
think
I
you
want
kinda
to
have
win
to.
anything that involves a championship. Division title, hang that banner. Put that number on up there. Conference championship, put that on up there. We need to get a better banner for the world championships. I think we
Agreed.
can all agree with
Way
that.
too tiny.
Needs to be a little bit
I've
bigger.
been on that
It
ever
should- it
since
should
they
block
opened it.
half
Yeah.
of
I want
that section.
I want big banner energy.
You know how I
but
feel about that. I mean, why
I'm
would-
down to put one on up. And listen, why not win it? If you're going to play in it, you might as well win it.
That is true. What was the weirdo sport you played during the pandemic? Was it lawn bowling or croquet that you were all
bocce ball.
Bocce.
Bocce ball.
That's right. You bocce.
Yeah, he
Yep.
like
That
when
was
Billy
great.
hooks into something, whatever it is, it's all the way.
Yeah, we're going to try to win it, baby.
You should try and win. It's just, I was thinking about this, though. And I have clowned the in-season tournament a lot. And I said, oh, who cares? No one wants this. But I thought about this. There was a time I was watching Packers America's Game, 66. There was a time where nobody thought much of the Super Bowl either. They thought
Right.
it was a gimmicky exhibition.
Right.
So it's a good thing we won those because in posterity, as time went on, we all cared about that as the most important game, and we have 2 more Super Bowl titles. So it's like, you know what? Maybe one day, 50 years down the road, we're going to look at this as a lot more important than we do now.
50
Nope.
years down the road, in 10 years, when
Yeah.
you don't have Giannis potentially, you're going to be grasping at winning anything.
So
So
maybe
soak
In
in
50
as
years,
many
we're playing
dubs
basketball on the moon.
as possible.
What's the best new thing that's come along in sports? I'm not anti-new thing, although sometimes they're a bit forced.
Mm.
Is it, these things have been introduced right now. The
good
Winston
question.
Cup, is actually the final race this weekend of NASCAR's
Okay.
playoffs.
Mhm.
And people mocked that, but it's still here. Same thing for the FedEx Cup playoffs.
Very much not the Winston Cup anymore.
It's not
but
the
yeah.
Winston Cup anymore. Right?
Piston
It's
Cup.
the,
Yeah, but in the good old days, it
who's
was
the main
Winston.
sponsor of NASCAR
Cars
now?
straight pulled
It's like when you were
Thank you.
it's like when
Great
you were
call.
when you were at the county stadium for the Brewers Kids Club. It was
Piston Cup. Loved it.
and Winston ads were all over the place.
Sure. So
I love how, for legitimately, though, the 6 of us, no one knows what the hell it's called.
It's called the NASCAR Cup Series now.
Oh,
but
there's no
gotta
sponsor?
be a major
No.
sponsor
They lost
attached
all.
to it.
Wasn't it
NASCAR
Monster?
championship.
Wasn't it Monster Energy
That
for a
was
while?
the truck series, I thought.
That's
Oh,
a truck
Yeah,
series.
just truck.
All right, but the FedEx Cup in golf, Coon, was widely mocked and like, oh, really? But they said we've got to have some logical, tidy wrap up of the season. It's still around. It generates a lot of money for the players. Nobody really cares about it, but it still exists. So there's that. World Baseball Classic is a new thing
True.
that some fans still bitch about because their players get hurt, like Altuve and old trumpet guy
Edwin
for the Mets.
Diaz.
Yeah, Edwin Diaz.
Old trumpet guy.
Old trumpet.
I couldn't
Good
think of his
old
name
trumpet
That was
guy.
actually
Gotta love him.
So that's a new thing that
Yeah,
has.
that's a great one.
This is a great question, although I'm struggling to think of something.
Oh, the easy one is the college football playoff. I mean, that was
Yes.
a TV design title that
Yeah.
then they have now morphed and brought us to what is going to turn into the golden age of college football. I mean, what we're going to watch next year, the scheduling, the amount of games that you're going to be able to watch throughout the entire season that are good and consequential. This 12 team is just going to blow everything that we've watched out of the water. And being able to bring and consolidate conferences to have the big dogs playing big dogs throughout the season. I don't even know that college football fans understand how much better it's going to be.
It's interesting. It's going to be better than what it is now, but I would reserve calling it the golden age, right? Steve, I don't know about you. I still kind of have an infatuation for when the AP poll mattered and everything else.
Lose that infatuation.
BCS,
Those were the worst.
You want guys
days.
to vote on
BCS
a champion, though?
the BCS was great, man. The BCS was awesome because
was
teams had to
great.
schedule their team. Yeah.
It was
You
a
know-
much more of a high wire act where a single loss
Yes.
could knock you out. So
And
it,
you
I
had
don't
to
know
pack
about
your
that.
punch with,
But-
out of conference games.
but I hated all these stupid ranking services, the Kali Matrix and Sagarin. And it was like, who did you believe was the better ranking system? It was a bunch of damn nerds. This way we're going to get it on the field, which is
We're going to get to
better.
the same result anyways.
Well,
It's
that's
gonna be
okay.
Georgia,
Alabama, Georgia,
Bama,
yeah,
Ohio
yeah.
State. It's going to be the same damn
That's the-
teams at the
that's-
end.
That's the key question,
I don't
Billy.
know about that.
Will the actual 12-team playoff result in chaos and upsets, or is it still going to be the cream rising to the top?
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I believe there's going to be more cream that's going to be in the mix there, right? There's going to be more guys and more teams that you look at and say, yeah, that can be a national championship contender. Josh, shut your mouth over here.
Shut your mouth.
Because we've already seen.
mark the tape on
Yeah, mark the tape on that one. But like,
What's so
listen,
funny?
for the last decade,
Gotta
Clemson-
listen to what he's saying.
Go ahead, Billy. Yeah.
Armin doesn't get paid to listen. Okay,
That's
he
true.
only gets paid to talk on Five Wide. All right, so but I like where John's
He's
coming
getting paid.
from. Of you got to schedule those teams. You don't have to schedule them in non-conference as much anymore
It's a good
because
point.
your conference schedule is going to be so much better,
Right.
and you're going to play an additional conference game. So we're not going to have in the second week of November Georgia playing the College of Charleston in their bye week in the middle of November. You're going to have an additional bye week, and you're going to have to play Oklahoma later on into the
'Cause
season.
you're not
Don't you
worrying
think
about
it'll bring up the same conversations? The same, Steve talked about everybody arguing over the Kali Matrix and all these different polls and rankings and blah blah blah. The arguments now are going to be, well, somehow Ohio State found themselves not having to play USC or Washington or Oregon this year. They just had to play Penn State and Michigan, while Wisconsin had to roll through 5 big-time teams already in the season. There will be conversations like that because you can't schedule all the teams within a conference that's bracketed out in just one linear form.
But then it's going to get settled on the field.
On the field in
and
the
that's
playoff.
that's the
Yeah.
better part of it. Like even if what you're saying, John, is they roll through an easier schedule, say they're a 1 seed or a 2 seed. Sure, you get a bye for the first round, but then you're going to have to play 2 more games to be able to go and try to win a championship.
Yeah, I get
So,
that.
I love it.
I'm with you on that. I think that part of it's good. You can't, to win a national championship, you can't skate through and have
Mm-hmm.
an easier schedule. You have to win all those games in the play. Yeah. And they're all going to be quality opponents. We'll be locked into that playoff. So that might be it right there. I think the play
Doesn't
in,
change the fact that this NBA Cup thing is going to suck.
Well, that's so. I want to get back to the new things that have come on that you're like, okay, this is a good new thing in sports. I was skeptical at first, and now I like it. Josh, why is the cup thing gonna suck?
Because it was like they decided on this. They were like, all right, we're going to force some NBA stars to talk about how great it is. And then we're going to do it right away. And people are going to have to love it. I still don't even know what's really happening with this thing. And I'm supposed to think it's a big deal.
Tuesdays and Fridays, right, Butch? Let them know. Tuesdays and Fridays, they're playing these games. We're going to set this thing up round robin. You got 4 games. Earn yourself your pool play championship or be the highest record team for a wild card.
Oh, look at the big brain on Kuhn.
I
He's
know,
actually
this is-
committed to memory how this thing works.
But
I'm
this
just
thing's
gonna
cool.
also
Hey,
watch our
I
games.
listen, I don't think you hang a banner. I think you hang a streamer. I think it goes banner for a championship, streamer for
What's a streamer?
just a streamer, just a little skinny streamer down. A streamer for the
Describe
in-season
streamer
tournament,
without saying
and then
streamer.
and then a patch for a.
Okay.
It's a flailing little twerp
What-
that comes
what's a
down
streamer?
and flails.
What's a streamer? It's a streamer. It's like a little streamer. It's a streamer. It hangs down like a streamer.
String.
is in season 1 word or 2.
Hyphen.
So is it
Hyphen
ITC
dash
or the
season.
ISTC when you're the in-season tournament champ? ITC in tournament champs. Like, I want to know what I'm supposed to chant at our parade when we win, because we're getting a parade, right? When we win,
Do
there.
you have a parade?
Well, we
in
haven't talked
December?
about parade at this point. Billy says banner and Kuhn says streamer. No one's
Streamer.
brought a parade.
No parade.
I think it should be
No-
a marker.
A marker.
A marker, like just put it like the Brewers have markers. They're like placards when they have
Oh, a little
playoff-
plaque,
like
Listen,
markers.
like in the concourse.
no on the
On the restaurant to be named later.
On the top of the arena.
I don't think they have that at Pfizer.
Yeah.
Listen, when it comes to banners, the
They should
Colts,
put it at AmFam.
the Colts have the saddest banner in all of sports.
Attendance banner, right?
No,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Colts had AFC Finals
Oh yeah,
participant.
finalist participant.
Saddest banner short of the WNBA attendance championship banner that Susan O'Malley put up for the Mystics one year
That
back
was
in the early aughts. It
That
was
was
like
the one.
attendance championship
Yeah.
banner. I think the Colts also have a 1-0 banner, which was their slogan, "Go 1-0 today." I think that's a banner up there in the rafters. So yes, Kuhn, if they win this cup, it's absolutely a banner. You don't have to look at it,
But it should be smaller.
but it should be a banner.
Shouldn't it be smaller than the championship?
Of course, it should be
You have
small.
to assign importance.
That's going to be
Streamer.
tough. That's going to be tough to
Tiny.
do.
Tiny.
Just smaller than a banner, but bigger than a streamer.
How do
That's
you
what
make
you're
a
saying,
banner
huh?
smaller than a
And
championship?
it's not bunting either. Bunting is different.
Bunting
That's
is different.
decorative red, white, and blue
Correct.
half circles that
So
go
what you're
on.
saying is make like a separate banner that you would put like for your division titles and just put the year in season tournament champ.
Oh, Marquette
years.
did that with their tournament appearances year.
Sure.
They listed all the years. Yeah. I guess you can
In
do
season
it
tournament final 4 appearances.
Speaking
Right.
of tournaments,
We made it
new
to
things,
Vegas.
New things. Butchie, do you like the CBI as a new thing? The third tournament in March behind
It's not really new.
the big dance, the NIT, and then the CBI. Well, I'm
Newer.
saying when they
Newer.
introduced it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a newer thing.
I think it's fine. The reason I think it's fine is because you got lower conferences that are still trying to give opportunities for these.
Isn't
kids.
there a fourth
The NIT
tournament
has
now
changed.
that they layered
There
in
have
behind that? What's it
CBI,
called?
CTI,
There was CBI and the CIT.
CIT.
Yeah.
CIT. You know, they're making some changes to the NIT. too.
I
They're
saw.
using the
I
NIT.
saw
So,
that.
I don't like
Yeah.
them, Butch.
Yeah.
I-
Tell people what the change is to the
Yeah.
NIT.
I don't have it in front of me. I read it briefly.
Basically-
It's
Armin?
something that I pretty much. Yeah, Armin. What I mean,
As I read it, Armin, it
it's
was they're not going to give the mid-major
The automatic.
conference champs, regular season
The
conference
automatic,
champs berths automatically like they used to. They're instead going to poach some Power 5 schools that may have been
Right.
mediocre.
It's going to be a lot more 7th, 8th, 9th place in the SEC and the Big Ten and the Big East and stuff. And
And
a lot
what's
of fans are saying the soul of college basketball is still the mid majors. Give them a chance. They actually care about the tournament.
And what's troubling, according to some basketball people, Butchie, is that they say, is this a portent for the big dance? That they'll start doing this
Well,
more for the big
yeah.
dance.
yeah. And
Don't like that.
I don't like that either.
I don't think anybody likes it, right? Like, I mean, we're going to see all these games starting Monday. College basketball tips off Monday. You're going to see all these small schools travel all over the country to try to get paid by these big schools.
Mhm.
Like, they put the work in here in November and December, then they play in their conference and everybody forgets about them. But the NCAA tournament brings them back. Like, you're not going to have stories of Princeton and Florida Atlantic and
Furman.
like Furman, all those
Hell,
teams.
you had
that
two
have so-
mid-majors in the Final Four last year.
Absolutely. So I'm not a big fan of it.
Okay.
I'm not. Yeah, I think you have to take care of the Lord.
We do have a tendency now in sports, I feel, maybe it's just recency bias, to try and overcorrect whatever happened the year before. Like, we think, oh, this happened. There were too many mid-majors in, or there were too many this. We have to overcorrect and change all the rules all the time. Sometimes it just happens.
Overreactions like roughing the passer.
Oh, God. More of those last night, Kuhn.
Now, I'm
That's
guilty
sad.
of doing
More
that
of
with
those last
baseball,
night.
though. So I don't know. I'm guilty of doing that with baseball.
Kuhn, having played in the league, when you watch games and these ticky-tack roughing the passer penalties, how does it make you feel?
Well, it's tough because as we talk about load management and we talk about protecting the players and we talk about limiting practice time, the natural thing in life, and I talked about this with Billy 100 times, what happens with the term evolution, right? Animals that are getting eaten, they evolve into tougher, stronger animals. Animals being put in places. Let's say you take a lion out of its jungle and then you put it in a domesticated setting. You
The
can't
zoo.
ever put it back into the jungle again.
Right.
It doesn't have that natural survivability attributes. And that's what's happening to professional athletes when you lessen what they can physically take, then their bodies naturally evolve to where they can't physically take it anymore.
It just makes the game unfun because you're invested
That's the
emotionally.
short answer.
Yeah, the shorter answer is
Like
it makes
both
the
are
game
true.
unfun. You're emotionally invested. You're like, let's go. I've been waiting all week for this game. And then touch. Oh, that's a penalty. What the hell?
Well, the quarterback play on top.
But you can't tell me that
last
that-
night was not great.
Hold on. You talking about Billy Jeans?
Huh?
You talking about Will Levis right now?
Will
Saying
Levis,
the quarterback
yeah.
play was not
Yeah,
good?
Billy Will Levis.
Boy, was out here
Mayonnaise-
slinging
little
that
mayonnaise
rock.
coffee guy. Yeah,
Man, it's
banana with the
properly
skinny
jacked
eats,
on
yeah.
up there too.
I
Holy
think-
cow, vascular.
I think the amount of clowning he took during the draft and that's going to inspire this guy. I mean, that's definitely a factor for a lot of these guys.
Charming.
I also think Patrick Mahomes, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and Aaron Rodgers has ruined people's perspective of what a quarterback actually is. I mean,
Where's
there's
that
only
bell?
about 5 or 6 of them in the league at a given time. And
Yeah,
you know, you talk about last night. I thought both those guys played up to about their pay grade last
Yeah.
night. I was a little impressed by both of them,
That's
and a little
fine, yeah.
unimpressed.
It's a football game, you know.
I hate to be that guy, Kuhn, but lions don't live in the jungle. Actually, they live in the savannah.
Oh my gosh,
Sorry,
you're
I
right
just-
about that. I guess.
Tigers
Why are they
live
called
in the
kings
jungle.
of the jungle? They are in the savannah.
Lions,
They-
Lions have famously acquired the title King of the Jungle. However,
jungle. Think of like
What
a
do
lot
you-
of
they
trees.
don't
and
actually live in
rainforests.
jungles. Their habits include scrubland,
Hey,
grassland,
Steve,
savannas,
have
and
you been
rocky
to a
hills.
have you been to a jungle?
No.
Have you been to a savannah?
Yes, I've been to Africa.
Really? Why'd you go?
Radio
So you
jungle.
know they're in the savannah. How do you
ra-
know
a
they're
radio-
not in the jungle?
A radio trip to Africa to like a safari?
Yeah.
No, there's a song in the jungle.
Can you
The lion
imagine our
sleeps
group on
tonight.
the jungle?
Yeah.
You're forgetting about the song.
There's definitely lions and jungles
Can you
in
imagine
these
our
cartoon movies.
Sunbird
okay?
group
Yeah,
on a safari?
I'm reading from BBC Earth, Kuhn. And
I would
that's
love
what
to
they
go.
say. They say they don't live
Yeah,
in the jungle.
Can't lie on
whatever.
the
You-
internet.
You got the point. You got
Gosh,
the
I'm glad this is 4.5 minutes.
I would love to go on a
Who do
safari
you
one
believe
day.
in that? What kind of crazy website
What
is
part of Africa? What was it?
that? No time to talk on there.
All right.
I'll do it offline, off air. But thank you for your interest.
I'd like to go to Africa one day and to go on a safari and check out the animals. and
Armin,
stuff.
he just
Just
has
listen
one
to
more
the
thing to
Beatles.
say.
You guys
Just
all
one
need to
more
shut
thing to
up.
say, Armin.
And give the Beatles the respect they deserve.
guys.
What if I told you it was on American Airlines? Would you still want to go? Probably not. All right.
We're gonna go to Topeka, Kansas. Armin's like, I've always wanted to. Let's do it. Let's take that trip. Let's go.
So,
Hey,
I,
back
so
by-
ever thinking it's cool to go on a vacation one day to a place I've never been and experience it. Sorry.
Back by popular demand, yesterday's smash hit, the Lost Beatles song, Now and Then. A reprise from yesterday. Enjoy your weekend. 9 to noon is next.